fulfill their requirement to
Mhm.
go abroad.
And to be more precise, what exactly do you know about IELTS exam?
Yeah, IELTS exam. Yeah, IELTS exam is basically uh, contains four major modules that are writing, reading, and writing, reading, and listening, and third, writing, reading, listening, and speaking. Yeah,
Speaking.
these four. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. These four
And
are the
tell
modules.
me, have you ever experienced any of the IELTS test before? For example, if you have seen the IELTS reading test, if you have seen IELTS listening, writing pattern, or might be the speaking method, anything that you know
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I have downloaded an app which is an official. I don't know which if it is official or not, but I downloaded it of British Council. So there was three tests which are in which are built in that application, and I tried to make before it was I downloaded it a week ago. So was trying to make I was trying to do that exam, and that was so difficult for me to do. And yeah, I have a major problem with the writing test
All right.
and and reading test. Other Although listening and speaking are also difficult for me too, but yeah, right, reading is basically very difficult for me.
True, reading is one of the most difficult module of IELTS.
Yeah.
Speaking and listening are a bit easy because somehow most of the word that we use in our day-to-day conversation, most of the words are in English. And listening
Mhm.
is also good because we watch English content. In Pakistan, it's very common to watch English content, to be specific. So that is the reason that we are more comfortable with that. And writing, the institutions, the metric intermediate, they have done the injustice with us that
Yeah,
whatever we were
exactly.
writing over there, we used to cram that. We used to memorize the content and then we were writing it down. We like, if we talk about my friend's essay, the whole class used to write down one same essay. If we were talking about
Exactly.
the first day at college, if we are talking about my aim in life, everybody was writing the same aim in life, same first day at college. So we were more into the memorization thing. But when it comes to IELTS writing, over here what they are gonna focus is that what is your own create, like it needs your own creative mindset, it needs your own critical thinking skills, it needs that you should be able to build up the story, you should be able to relate all the examples, experiences, opinions, and so many other things, ideas into that writing. So it means right now there is no content available for IELTS exam, but yeah, few sample paper, few sample tests are available. There are sample essays, sample answers are available, but there is no one specific book that is available that you can memorize and your exam would be from that book. It's not like that at all. I mean, speaking,
Mhm.
they can ask you anything. In writing, they can give you any topic to write. So it means like we have to build it, and we have to make ourselves habitual so that we are writing and we are speaking and we are making up the stories. And plus, when it comes to reading, they give us huge three passages, and those extensive passages contain, like every passage contains 13 questions, and eventually there are 40 questions in the reading. So what happens over there that it becomes really difficult to answer those questions, specifically in IELTS academic. So
And the most horrible thing about reading passages, they actually use that vocabulary which is not I literally don't used to heard about it, and you literally don't know about that thing. And basically I tried two tests of reading these passages were like scientific names and that related to science. And I only remember in ninth class I have done biology and that's it. Otherwise I'm not,
yeah,
I
it's,
didn't do anything.
but
Yeah.
let me tell you one thing. The purpose of IELTS reading passages is not to understand the passage. That is not the ultimate goal. The task is not to understand that. They are going to confuse you with the difficult vocabulary words. But your task is that you have to, even if you're reading a statement and there comes one word which is really difficult, you have never heard before, you have never read before, you don't need to confuse yourself because of that. You just simply have to move on. There is a possibility that that word has no connection with the question, because the purpose over here is only to answer the question. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
might be there is a whole passage that you could not understand at all. It's totally fine. No one is going to ask you about the passage. No one. The purpose is only to answer the question. Secondly, they also use one thing. Now, whatsoever is the topic, the way you were relating it to biology, I was doing one IELTS reading with one batch even yesterday. So they were talking about the type of a dinosaur. So even the name was really difficult. Even I am unable to pronounce that name. It was a name with approximately 17 to 18 alphabets. So this much bigger name. What we did in the class, we started calling that Peterson. So instead of
Mhm.
calling that, whenever we were reading that, because that word was starting with PE, something like that. So I don't remember the exact name of that category. So what we did over there, we named it something that clicks us, something that we have heard already, so that we should not get confused every single time with this name. They are going to use the difficult names, they're going to use the difficult vocabulary words. In our classes, when we two will be doing reading together, I'll teach you. I mean, this is what we have to do. This is why you are here, because you find it difficult, and I have solutions, I have strategies, I have tips and all. So we two will be doing reading together. Like you will be holding your notes. I'll provide you all the material, so you would have to get the prints out of that. Or if you already have a material, I'm okay with that, I'm comfortable with that, because it's just about the strategy, it's just about the method, it's just about a technique. We can apply that technique into any reading passage. It's not like the content that I'm providing is authentic and the content that you come up with is not authentic. Content could be from anywhere, because exam could be from anywhere. There is no one specific content related book available for the exam. But still, I will provide you the content. I will provide you all those. IELTS book 1 till book 15. I'll provide you all those books. You would have to get prints by yourself, and every week we'll be practicing approximately 1 to 2 reading together. So over there, we are going to discuss that how exactly do we have to deal with those vocabulary words. Number one. Number two, it's not only about avoiding the vocabulary words, it's not only about skipping the vocabulary words, it's also about building the vocabulary for our own self. So, from the day one, when we will start doing reading, what we are going to do, every single word that we will find difficult, we are going to write it down in a notebook with the meaning. We'll search the meaning on the Google and we'll write it down over there. With the passage of time, we'll build the vocabulary bucket in our register. We'll have that. We'll keep revising that. And you know what? After 10 to 12 session, you will figure it out that they are now repeating the words.
Yeah.
Getting the point? So initially, it would be way, way difficult that they are using the word which are not very common, but then we will realize it that they are using only those 50 to 100 words that they are playing with to confuse the reader. This is what we are doing. So this is how we are going to do it. It's about the reading. Today, it's not going to be any task that we are doing. I'm going to tell you how everything is going to work the way I'm telling you about the reading. Now, I'll tell you what reading we are going to do today. I'll be solving reading test with you. I'll be letting you know that how I take these exams, how I take these questions, and how I solve it. And plus, I'll also be listening to you that what pattern suits you. There are so many methods available to do IELTS reading. Every pattern has its own individuality. Every pattern, I mean, there's a possibility I might find one pattern difficult and you might find that easy, because we do have different reading experiences. We have different reading. We have done different sort of readings. I mean, like, of course, it can't be the same. I'm at different level. You are a different level. Your schooling was different. My schooling was different. Might be you are a book reader. I'm not a book reader. Might be I'm a book reader. You are not a book reader. So based on that, it's different. Sorry.
I am not a book reader.
So if you are not a book reader, so it means we would have to adopt few of the strategies that, because I was also not a book reader when I went for IELTS exam back in 2009. So I adopted few of the things. I usually teach those things to the students and that usually work. Okay, so this is how it's going to be about the reading thing. That we'll be doing reading together. It's going to be about, we'll be building vocabulary, we'll be learning how to deal with the passages, and you might have heard about the skimming and scanning pattern. Have you ever heard about that in reading? Skimming and scanning says, just because there is a lot of content given over there in the reading. I mean, I'm telling you right now, you can apply it by your own. There is so much content given over there. We do not need to use all of that, because the purpose is only to answer the question. Skimming says that you just keep reading out, and every single word that you find important, underline that. Underline the important words only. For instance,
Mm.
every single sentence contains only one or two words which are important, which are giving the real sense of the sentence, and all other are
Okay.
the prepositions, is, am, are, the, of. So what we are going to do, we are going to underline the important names, important dates, important nouns, each and everything like that. And if there is any connection with the question, so we are going to get to know that, all right, yeah, I have read this word over there in the third passage, I have underlined that. We'll look for the underlined words, if you're getting my point. This is called skimming,
Mm-hmm.
by underlining the important words. Just as you know, the skimmed milk is available in the market. Do you know what is skimmed milk?
Oh,
Low fat milk. Low fat milk is called skim
yeah.
milk. Low fat milk means they have taken out all the non-essential parts of the milk, and only essential part is there that you can drink, and it does not contain the fat.
Lactose, like, isn't it lactose
Yeah,
free?
exactly, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name you were calling. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
know
the thing
that.
is that we have to do the skimming thing in the reading. We will go through the passage without understanding it. We do not need to understand anything. We are just going through it. We are just going through it, and we have to go through within 2 to 3 minutes at max. And we'll underline the important words only. Keep underlining, highlighting the important words. That is called skimming. And second thing is scanning. Skimming and scanning is all together. That we just scan the whole paper. We just scan the whole passage by reading it out without understanding. Just like we are watching a
Mhm.
movie, we are not paying attention to, like, it's just going on, and somehow it's going to be in our short term memory. So we are going to utilize that. Based on that, when we'll read the question, it's going to click us like this. Oh yeah, I have read something like this, whatever is mentioned in the question over there in the first passage, might be in the third passage. Because the first important thing in the reading is, by reading the question, we have to make a connection with the passage. We have to figure it out, that where exactly the answer is hidden in the passage. If we
Mm.
figure out that passage might be those 2 to 3 lines, by reading those 3 lines, we'll try to understand only those 3 lines where we believe the answer is hidden over there. Then we are going to spend our time over there to answer the question. Okay? This is called skimming and scanning method. Now, there is also another method that I never recommend. I only recommend to those students who are really, really good reader, that you read out the whole passages, then answer the question. Because time is the real time pressure over there in the IELTS reading exam.
Exactly.
Because you have to do that in 60 minutes only.
And we
Extensive
have
passage.
three big passages.
Yeah, three extensive passages, and every passage you have to answer approximately, from every passage you have to answer approximately 14 questions. So in 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a very, very short time to solve one passage. It's only about the time, you know. If you get the open time exam, it's so easy, trust me, because it's obviously it's somewhere hidden in the passages only. The answers are hidden over there. So this is how we do the second method. First method was skimming and scanning. Second method is you go through it all. Third method is that you can read out the first 2 lines of the passages and last two
Mm.
lines of the passages of every paragraph. Read out the first 2 lines of the paragraph and last 2 lines of the paragraph, and you will get to know that what this passage is all about. Is it about the history? Is it about the revolution? Is it about, like, what exactly this passage is all about? You're just gonna get to know about that. I mean, it's just like a movie. If you're watching a movie, you watch out the beginning of the movie and end of the movie. That's it. I mean, the process doesn't matter. For example, there's a guy, there's a female, and after that they got married. That's it. So what do we have to do with the process? Whatsoever difficulties they have faced, ignore that. Same as in reading. There is a passage, just read out the first 2 lines and the last 2 lines, and you'll figure it out that, all right, this passage is about this thing. This is the passage, this is the method 3. And the method 4 says You read out the first two lines of the passage and last two lines of the passage, and for the remaining part, do skimming and scanning. Got it? That underline the important word. So this is about the reading. It's not only like there are four methods, there are, might be hundreds of methods available. We'll be applying few of those. So whatever you will feel easy, you will feel comfortable with, we'll just start practicing that method only. This is how reading gonna be. Number two, there comes, and plus we'll be building vocabulary the way I told you. And if the vocabulary word is not important, we'll learn how to create a meaning by applying the logical thinking skill to that word. Now, I mean, I don't know the meaning of this word, but what could be by understanding the sense of the line, sense of the sentence. So we'll be developing that thing as well in the reading. Number two is the writing. The way you said you find writing the most difficult one. That depends. Either you are gonna appear in the computer-based exam or the paper-based.
You're asking me
I'm
that.
asking you.
I don't know. I think paper based is good for
Yeah,
me
yeah,
because my
paper-based.
typing speed is very low.
Okay, okay. And plus, we are also tuned in a way that we can appear in the paper-based exam. So, because we have done that the whole of our life. So, based on that,
Mhm.
in the writing exam, I will give you a topic. There are, in Ielts academic writing, there are two passages. Passage one is about chart, and passage two is the essay writing. I'll give you the topic, you will write it at your home, of course, and you will just simply take a picture of your notebook, of your written content. You will share that picture with me. And during the
Mhm.
session, I will request you to read it out. And plus, I'll also be looking at the picture so that if there would be any punctuational mistake, there would be any spelling mistake, there would be any, let's say, vocabulary mistake, or might be you have written something which is not readable by the examiner. So I'm gonna let you know about that. That is how we are gonna work on the writing thing. Is it clear?
Sure.
And and remember, there are two things that we never do for our own self. We always do for other people. Number one, writing. We never write for anything for our own self. We always write for a reader. We never speak for our own self. We always speak for a listener. So it
Mhm.
means if you're writing something, your reader should be able to understand it. I have seen these examples. There are few students who write spellings in a different way. For example, they write T in a way that it seems like, let's suppose it seems like H. So they usually claim, I write it that way. No, 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 that is not the answer. You write it that way, it doesn't matter how reader is going to perceive it. It should be easy for the reader to understand it. So this is also going to, we are going to work on, because your examiner is not going to waste his time on your writing skills. If he doesn't get a word, it means if he doesn't get a word, so if he doesn't get a word, so what exactly he's going to do, he'll just simply move on and will give you less bands. So we do not have to pinch him, disturb him, irritate him with the writing style. So we'll be working on all these things, and plus I'll be teaching you a few of the vocabulary words, few of the expression that are really, really useful in every essay or might be in every part one task. And that is about the writing. Is it clear? Any question related to that?
No, thank you.
Okay,
Everything is clear.
that's great. Moving on, the third thing comes speaking. So in speaking, we will be practicing the way Ielts speaking exam is conducted, which means I'll be asking you the question. There are three parts in speaking. Part one is about the general question they ask you about your life. For example, how often do you go morning walk? Questions like these. And who do you go
Mhm.
with? How much time do you spend over there? These are the scheduled questions. Your examiner already has those questions on the paper, and he will only be asking you these questions. This is about the part one. In part two, they give you a question and you have to deliver a speech for 2 minutes at least. So it's going to be a
Mm.
speech session. That's the part two. So over there, they will give you a question. There is
For how long? Two
yeah,
minutes or
for
five
2 minutes.
minutes?
For 2 minutes. For 2 minutes. They will give you a question, and that question will also contain some sub question. There would be some sub questions as well. So it means, for example, mention the book you have read quite recently. From where did you get that book? Who did you read that book with? Why did you like that book? These are the sub questions. So they will ask you sub questions as well. Your task is, and plus they will give you 1 minute that you can think about the content as well. After that 1 minute, You have to speak for 2 minutes, and they will be recording that. They will be recording the speaking session. But there is one more thing, they're not recording it just because they have to listen to that again. So do not get a pressure that they are recording it. They are recording it just because they want to have a proof. That's it. If somebody claims your IELTS exam only, then they're going to play it up. So that recording should never become a pressure for you. So that is about the part two. I mean, part one, general questions related to your life. Part two, a speech session. Part three is a conversation part, in which if they ask you a question and you give them an answer, from that answer, they're going to create another question, a counter statement, a counter question. They're going to confuse you with your information. But you just simply need to remember, this is not the test of your general knowledge. This is not the test of your political might be information that you have in your mind. This is not the test of your IQ. This is the test of your English. So it means every story that you're giving them, every story that you're sharing with them, that might not be true, but it's fine. You might be making up a story. That's fine. They are there to assess your English only. So they are going to confuse you with the counter question and whatsoever information that you are sharing, but that should be, of course, should be related to the question. I'm not saying that it can't be go beyond the topic. It should be related to the topic. You have to follow that pathway, but you can create the content that is allowed there. Night speaking exam specifically, and also in the writing. That is about the speaking, Jason. Moving on to the last part, that is the last module, that is the listening. For listening, I'm afraid I won't be able to do listening with you. I'll give you listening task. You will do it by your own. You will share your results with me. And on every single mistake that you will make, I'll give you a lesson. I'll give you a trick. For example, in IELTS listening, there are different type of the question. There are MCQs, there are diagrams, there are fill in the blanks, there are matching columns. Every
Mhm.
single type of the question has its own different level of instructions. I'll provide you those instructions during the class, and I'll teach you the method. For example, if they give you, if you find difficult to answer the MCQs question, let's suppose, and you find it really easy to answer your fill in the blanks question. Getting my point?
Mhm.
So let's suppose fill in the blanks questions are easy for you and MCQs are difficult. So I would suggest you, whenever they give you time, whenever they give you time, that you have some time to read out the question from 1 to 5, and these are the fill in the blanks. Do not go through those fill in the blanks question. Jump to the MCQs, read out those questions, make those questions easy for you, and when they start speaking, come back to the fill in the blank. I mean, there are going to be some tips and tricks that we are going to apply on the listening as well, how we can make a difficult thing easier, and how we can get the maximum benefit from the things which we find easiest. This is all
We
going
do
to
that.
be about the IELTS exam. This is all going to be what we are going to do in our classes. For reading, we are going to do it together. For writing, you will do it in the homework. You will share your picture with me, and I'll be letting you know if there would be anything to improve. In speaking, we'll be practicing the way like we are connected right now. Only today it's the teacher centered class. It's only for today that I'm speaking a lot. From next session to onward, you are going to be speaking for the whole of the session most of the time, because it's going to be a student centered class. It's not like I just simply have to prove you that how good I am in reading, how good I am in writing. It's not about myself, it's about you. So you have to speak, you have to share your writing, you have to tell me how you take your reading. So it's going to be the student centered class from now to onward, from next session to onward. But anyways, any question in the IELTS pattern, IELTS exam, or anything related to that?
No, I think everything is cleared for now.
Hmm.
If I had if I have any question, I'll let you know.
All right, great. And one further thing, that they usually also let me tell you, it happens the students usually say that what if uh, let's suppose in the listening exam, what if our speakers are not working and our time has wasted? Is it the waste of money as well?
What?
It
I didn't
usually
understand.
happen. Students usually ask me this question, that what if we appear in an exam and something happens over there. For example, in a listening test, your headphones are not working.
Working, yeah.
Your headphones are not working. So what eventually is going to happen? It's going to be the waste of
Mhm.
time. The point is it also the waste of money? Is it also the waste of time? Am I going to fail my exam? No, it's not.
Mhm.
You have to write an email within the first 2 days of your exam. You just simply have to let your body, your council know that you have faced this problem and they will reschedule your exam over there. Okay. So it's all going to be about that. For now, I am gonna give you one task. It's a writing task. Take 15 minutes, write something on that topic and share that with me. Okay, let's evaluate your writing. Okay, let me know about your contact number, please.
Um, 0334
Zero.
0334
All right.
36
36
29
29
29
29
817.
817. Seriously? How many digits are there? How many numbers are there? One, two, three,
Zero
four,
three
five,
three
six.
four 3629 817.
Okay, okay. I thought it's double two nine.
3629. It's not.
03343629817.
Yes.
What's the meaning of your name?
Um, the meaning of Jason's name is protector who protects someone.
Great. Hold on, hold on. I'm sending you a topic. Okay, Jason. I have shared the topic with you. It says some people think. Have you received it? Not
Mm,
yet. Is your internet connected?
wait, I haven't received it yet. On WhatsApp?
Yeah, on WhatsApp.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got
I
done.
got it. Yeah, I got it. Some people think that sport teaches children how to compete, while others believe that children learn teamwork. Discuss both view and give your opinion.
So you have got only 15 minutes and
Okay,
you have to write only 150 words.
150 words.
Okay.
How many paragraphs?
Or we can consider, let me tell you another thing. Just write down 250 words in 40
Okay,
minutes. And you can share that with me and we will discuss, we can discuss it in the next session. Is it doable?
sure.
Sure. For
So
our purpose,
how will be the sessions will be conducted? Like which days and how many days in a
uh,
week?
that's what we usually go according to the students. I mean, if students are willing to take morning classes, we are okay with that. If you want to take evening classes, we are okay with that. And but you tell me, are you available at 3 o'clock? Because that suits me the most. Are you available at 3 o'clock?
I'm free. I'm free after one
After one,
because I
you're
have to
available.
go.
All right,
Yeah,
all
I have
right.
to go to school.
So, what
From
you should do right now, I believe you should write this essay right now. And
hmm,
I'm gonna catch you right after 15 minutes and we'll discuss it, discuss your
40 or
writing.
15.
Number one. And number two, tomorrow it's Saturday and your class would be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days a week. And on Saturday, it's going to be your mock test.
Okay. Can you tell me again the days?
Yeah.
Monday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's Monday to Thursday, 3 o'clock.
Okay. And Saturday is exam
Is the
day.
mock test. Is
Oh,
the mock test.
oh,
Mock test means I'll send you the content and I'll give you one specific time that your test starts now, and you have to submit your answers within 2 hours and 30 minutes. So based on that, will like that would be considered as the exam. That's not a class. That's a mock test that you have to uh, evaluate yourself. I mean, for example, after 1 week, you will evaluate yourself exactly where do you stand. Let's suppose you score 5 bands in the first week. Okay, not a problem. It's just the beginning. Second week, what's your score now? At 6. All right, you're improving. So at the end of every week, you will assess yourself. It would be more like assessment for your own self, that at what level I was standing in the beginning and where do I stand now. And on the basis of that,
Mhm.
every single week we'll be conducting the mock test and we'll be observing how we are improving and what changes do we need to bring and what were the good strategies, what were the bad strategies. So based on that, it would be improving. So Monday to Thursday, your classes would be at 3 o'clock. Saturday, it could be any time that suits you because I'll not be connected with you. I only have to send you the task and I'll give you some specific time and you have to get back to me with your answer within that time. So that is how it's going to be. Okay.
Okay.
So now you do have 15 minutes. I am going to, because like this meeting is also about to end in 7 minutes, but anyways, I'm going to give you link again in 15 minutes only. Complete 150 words and we'll be discussing it. Okay.
150 words.
Right now.
And how many paragraphs? Two or
It's
three?
not about paragraphs, it's about words. 150 word limit.
Sure.
All right. Bye bye. I'm getting back in 15 minutes.
Sure.